We will go ahead and get started with this meeting at 4:29. Okay. We'll start with the flag salute.
And sorry, we have to do the roll call by just name if you want to go ahead and call them.
Okay, Commissioner Kelleher? Commissioner Ryan? Commissioner Span? Commissioner Martinez present. Commissioner Sackfield? Here. Commissioner Rogers? Here. And Commissioner Ovanessa? Here. We are all here. Okay, and up next is the approval of minutes for the July 13th meeting.
There's no oral communication.
Oh, no oral communications?
Yeah, no oral communication.
Thank you.
You're good.
And approval of minutes for the July 13th meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
I second that motion.
And we have to vote individually. So Commissioner Kelleher? Commissioner Ryan? Commissioner Span?
The minutes.
Approving the minutes. Commissioner Sackfield? Commissioner Rogers? Yes. Commissioner Ovanessa? And Martinez, yes.
Approved 7-0.
Perfect. Okay. And on to our current business, Escondido Expressions Traffic Signal Box Program.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Sandra Aguilar, Management Analyst for Economic Development.
And I'm Nicolina Gatanek, Department Specialist for the Economic Development Department.
And we will be presenting on the Escondido Expressions, the updates, and the old Escondido theme.
And here is today's presentation agenda. Background on Escondido Expressions. On May 11, 2026, the 2026-2027 Public Art Annual Work Plan was approved with $0 allocated in spending for the Escondido Expressions program. To allow staff to focus on other projects, the Public Art Commission paused the painting of additional traffic signal boxes. To date, 40 boxes have been painted.
The first box we'd like to discuss is the Sykes and San Dieguito theme box. On July 13, 2026, Commissioner Ryan requested that we find an artist to paint this location using the remaining funds from our Escondido Expressions program. As a reminder, there are no remaining funds in the Escondido Expressions program per the fiscal year 26-27 Public Art Annual Work Plan. In order to be able to do this, the Public Art Commission needs to provide formal action. First, it would have to amend the fiscal year 26-27 Public Art Annual Work Plan. Second, it would have to amend the budget. And third, it would have to identify an existing work plan priority to defer, reduce, or remove to increase staff capacity in order to be able to create a call for artists, execute the agreement, coordinate artists, supply, pickup and drop off, and process payments.
Moving to our Grand Avenue theme box. Per commissioners and the artist, during Escondido Expressions Phase 1, an artist submission from Gloria Favela Rocha under the theme of Cruising Grand was received. Staff reviewed the meeting minutes and contract documents and was unable to confirm a formal submission or Public Art Commission official statement. Official action. As a reminder, one box at Grand in Center City is already painted with the Cruising Grand theme.
And so, city staff requests that the Public Art Commission give direction on the Sykes and San Dieguito theme box, as well as requests that the Public Art Commission provide direction on the Grand Avenue theme box. We're here if you have any questions.
I just wanted to make one statement. For those that you do not know, this box is across the street from the Sykes homestead. It was an original homestead in the 1883, 84. Recently, it got burnt down totally to the ground during the Witch Fire. The only thing remained were the adobe walls that they were able to push back up into the original standing form and reframe it. It did just recently open last month as a brand new, they call it reconstruction, because the original outside walls that were adobe were still there.
Our budget has not yet been approved by council.
No, it will be approved at the beginning of October.
Okay. Thank
But
you.
it has been approved per the Public Art Commission, so it would, that's why there's a need for formal action.
So that would have to go as a future agenda item to adjust the budget?
It's up to the Public Art Commission to make a motion.
Thank you.
I actually called earlier today to say that we could postpone this because we have so many different things on our budget. But I did want to bring the attention again that how important this Sykes is, and it's on the Escondido River path. And also because it appears that the mall will be bringing in Costco. We'll have more people traveling to that particular location, and they'll be able to enjoy seeing some history there. But I think we can postpone it. There's no rush on this.
Do we also, isn't there something else in the package, in our packet, about another box?
Correct.
Where it's already been painted and it needs to be repainted?
Correct.
So we really have 3 boxes
And we
on our
need
agenda
direction.
this evening.
Remind me, I don't remember if this came up last time. Did we mention if the boxes could be submitted as projects for Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month?
They can.
They can.
Okay, so that's an option too. If we decide to postpone the Sykes box, they could also apply through that grant. Any other comments?
Do we make
So-
a motion to postpone it then? Is that your suggestion?
My suggestion is to postpone it. We have so many things on our plate. And when I asked this to go back on the agenda, other things hadn't come up yet. So I think it's probably a good idea to postpone it.
I agree.
So is
Then
it-
go ahead.
Is it wise that we split this up, make a vote on the Sykes box, and then move on to the next one?
They're separate agenda items.
Are
No,
they?
but
Yes.
We're looking at them
For
on one
these two
screen,
boxes?
so.
These two are one agenda item because they both need direction. And in the similar way, we would have to open a call, make an adjustment if the Public Art Commission decides to have a call for artists for both these boxes. That's why they're one item.
But the Grand Avenue one was not brought by the commission. It's brought by a community member, not knowing. I'm very confused about that one.
Yeah, we definitely go
We're
back
not
to
talking
them.
about item number 3 yet. All we're talking about right now is item number 2 that has nothing to do with decommissioning that other box.
Yeah.
So let's hold
Sandra?
that discussion.
No, we're not
No, no, no.
decommissioning.
Or
So
or
can I-
whatever you guys are going to discuss with that box, though, that's not this item.
It is, that's what
Could-
she's just said.
Yeah.
The
Could
cruise-
I-
So the
could I-
sec-
Go ahead, Chris.
I'm sorry to interrupt. For those of you who don't know me, which I think before the meeting started was the majority of you, my name is Chris McKinney. I'm Deputy City Manager. So I'm stepping in. Jennifer Shennick is out of the office, so I'm stepping in to fill her role, sitting on the die. I think, Commissioner Rogers, to your question, and I hope to address the confusion, there are the 2 boxes under consideration on this item. You could split them into 2 votes if you wished, or if you had the same direction for both boxes, you could keep them together. If you have different direction for the 2 boxes that you wish to give, I would suggest splitting them into 2 votes just for clarity. But if you're going to give the same direction for both boxes, you could still split them if you want, but you could also leave it together. Hopefully that helps.
I personally would like to split them, and I'm going to try and make the motion for the Sykes box that we will not take the action at this time to fund that box.
I'll second that motion. And Commissioner Kelleher for a vote.
Yay.
Commissioner Rogers, or Commissioner Ryan,
I agree.
Commissioner Span,
Yes.
Commissioner Tatfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogers. Yes. Commissioner Ovanesov, and Martinez, yes.
Approved 7-0.
Okay. Now onto the Grand Avenue theme box. I would also like some clarification on this one.
Can you return it to the last item still? So this was another item, it was, I believe it was about 2 meetings ago that was brought up. The artist, like I said, Gloria Fabella Rocha, had mentioned, hey, at some point I had received approval for this box. We went in and dug everywhere. We could not find the actual submission. It was during phase 1, so neither myself nor Nicolina were part of the public art staff. So we just wanted to bring that clarification because the artist had then, I believe, reached out to Commissioner Ryan inquiring about it, and the question came up. So that was why this was part of that. If you wanted to make a call for artists, then that's why this one would roll in with that.
I think it's unfortunate that there's some confusion around it, but I think it will create even more confusion if we have to then kind of backtrack all these different steps. And the same thing could happen with arts, culture, and creativity. The commission had made the decision, we were going to suspend that. I think the simplest thing to do is to not grant that at this time. That's my opinion.
I agree. I really honestly don't recall this box. Phase 1 was quite a while ago. And if the artist felt that she was approved, the time to come forward was quite a while ago, especially since you were not present at that time doing this.
Yes. Like I said, we looked through all the meeting minutes, every note we could, and we could not find any sort of approval or even the actual submission.
I have to say, because I was with Terry at that time as well, and I cannot recall, especially from this artist specifically, like I cannot recall an application. I'm really sorry for the confusion, but I would agree that opening up a single call for artists for this box would be a little too confusing for the public, especially considering we just put a pause on the project as well.
Okay.
And her work is wonderful.
Any other comments? No? Okay.
Serena, does the motion need to be made on this
Yeah,
one?
you guys need to make a motion.
Since you split it.
Also, make a motion to not approve whatever, and then a second, and
Okay.
then a formal vote, yeah.
I'll motion to not put forward a call for artists for this box at this time.
I'll second it.
Okay, Commissioner Kelleher?
I agree to not move forward.
Commissioner Ryan?
I approve.
Commissioner Span?
I agree.
Commissioner Sackfield?
I agree.
Commissioner Rogers?
Agree.
Commissioner Ovanesov? Martinez, yes.
And the motion was approved 7-0.
Okay.
Now we're on the next item.
Next item on the agenda, Escondido Expressions Traffic Signal Box, Old Escondido.
Our old Escondido resubmission on March 9th, 2026, the Public Art Commission approved Built to Last by Sean Flannery as part of Escondido Expressions Phase 4.1. In June, Mr. Flannery painted the Albert H. Beach House designed as approved by the Commission. In July, the homeowner requested removal of the design. Staff checked with our city attorney to verify the best course of action. Though the house is in public right-of-way in view, because the homeowner lives in the home, it would be best to be a good neighbor and replace the design. In August, Mr. Flannery has started painting his new Old Escondido theme box using the Center City High School as inspiration. Staff received design approval from the property owner. And this is the design.
This is the new submission from Mr. Flannery. The front of the building would be on the main panel facing the street. The side of the building would be on the other panel next to it, and the remaining panels would have landscaping and sky.
Like to make a statement if I can when it's appropriate time.
Oh, okay. In just a moment, we'll
Okay.
finish the presentation. It's okay.
The Built to Last by Sean Flannery would be available for viewing on the Public Art Legacy page on city website. Public Works would assist Sean by priming the box for him, and 2 local artists have already offered to help Sean with the painting.
So, city staff requests the Public Art Commission approve the formal deaccessioning of the Built to Last design, the resubmission for the old Escondido theme by Sean Flannery, and a stipend of $750 to the artist. And we're here if you have any questions.
Did you have something to say?
Yeah, I actually want to read a statement, if that's okay with everyone. Diverse range of creative expressions was written in this magazine, actually. And what we're talking about here is the ability for artists to come forward to, first of all, go to Escondido's subcommittee expressions, be approved, and then move on to our committee and have approval, which was all the proper steps taken. I just want to make a plea. Small murals on traffic boxes are places where people live, work, and visit in Escondido. Rich history in Escondido has been used on some of the boxes, and one of the boxes that was chosen was this particular house. It was built in the late 1800s. It's Queen Anne Victorian, one of the few houses like it in Escondido. It has rich history. I have found that it's an excellent example of the old beauty that existed in Escondido. It's one of the few examples. When you drive or walk by the box, you are reminded of the magnificent and sturdiness of the building, but also the quiet beauty that it has. It's just very relaxing to see. This box was picked by the subcommittee and then approved by our committee because of its uniqueness, I believe, in historic value of architect that existed quite a while ago, and you'll never see it again. The box, from what my understanding was seen with public viewing on a public sidewalk. We were able to see it. At that point, you're able to duplicate, according to what I understand, and you can correct me, from what I understand, if you can view it from a public place, a sidewalk or a street, you are able to duplicate and paint a box for whatever purpose it is. And at no point did I feel like we had to ask permission of the owner. The box is not within view from her house. When you stand there, you don't see it. It's down on 5th Avenue, which is the closest traffic box to it. I think it would be an absolute shame for us to paint over history that we won't see duplicated again. And I am a big history buff, and to me, it would be not protecting our artists in Escondido. I want our artists in Escondido to feel that they, once they're approved, they can paint their expression of who they are and be approved by us and be supported by us. So for me, this goes against everything I believe in. And I've been involved in art my whole life. And it just, to me, doesn't make sense that somebody that has complained, that house is up for sale now, that has complained, and if we support that, have we opened the door for other boxes to be criticized and other people to come forward and say, I don't like a butterfly on a box. I don't like a display of cows on a former dairy, the Vigir Dairy, for instance. So I think we're opening ourselves up to not supporting our artists.
I
And-
agree, Commissioner Ryan,
Thank you.
wholeheartedly.
Thank you.
I would like to speak about the, I really don't like to cause waves, and I choose my battles, and this battle is for the artists and for the Public Art Commission. The Alfred H. Beach House is an iconic treasure in Escondido. It was built in, like you said, 1896 at 700 Juniper Street. It sold in 2016 to the present owner and presently is for sale. And it has been listed actually for sale since 2019. It has its own Wikipedia page, and it's renowned throughout all of San Diego. Segments of its rich history have been on KPBS. It's on the National Registry. That's big. It's also on Escondido's Historic Registry, and it's on the Mills Act, which gives the owner a lot of tax breaks when they follow the Mills acts. The Times Advocate wrote an article that this is an architectural splendor transformed into a gathering place. It says, by showcasing the unique heritage and charm, attracting tourism, and fostering economic growth, it stands as a testament to Escondido's rich history and community spirit. It's been reproduced in paintings, sketches throughout the year. And anyone who moves into a gem like this, and it is, knows that it draws attention. Much like someone who moves into a neighborhood with a baseball field that's lighted, they can expect to have the lights shining throughout the year. So my understanding, a letter was written, like you said, saying, don't use my house. And the house is on Redfin. There's an entire website devoted to the promotion of the house called the Moore Mansion. The outside is public from the street. And there is actually a federal, what do you call that? A codified law that says that can be done. I mean, it goes a little deeper than, just our city. And the outside is public from the street. The inside is public to the internet. Their privacy on the inside is one thing, but privacy on the outside is not guaranteed by law. What would stop over the many hundred homes in the historic registry in Old Escondido from writing a letter to never have their home in any publication? Changes to our art could be a slippery slope. If someone was unhappy with the art, they could actually, and we had this precedent. They have an open door to say, well, if they did it, well, then I can do it. There's the Architectural Works Copyright Protection Act, codified 17 U.S. Code 120. The federal copyright law explicitly states that if a building is ordinarily visible from a public place, the copyright owner cannot prevent anyone from making, distributing, or displaying paintings, drawings, photographs, or other pictorial representations. And it also says, and I'm sorry for just making a big deal, because I think it is a big deal, that it's not only it's a federal. Anyway, I'll stop if someone wants to make a comment. I believe that there is a lot more to this than we see, and I don't want to say, if we, like you said, the boxes can be torn apart and say, no, I don't like that. I'm a vegan. I don't want to see cows on a box. It can get really ridiculous. And I know it's a lot of it's AI, but it's AI generated that I believe is law. Thank you.
I have a question that I'm not sure someone here might know, but don't they do tours of Old Escondido? I haven't done them personally.
Mother's Day.
Yes.
Mother's Day, right. So I guess I'm curious if this house happens to be featured in that, and it kind of goes along the same vein of, people are doing tours, not tours, but walking tours around those facilities, around those houses, around those, landmarks, really. So it's similar to that, but also it's in a completely different location. So I appreciate my fellow commissioners for sharing their thoughts, sharing the background, because I think it just made me think about, about what they do with the tours, the old Escondido tours.
I was on the old Escondido board for 10 years, and yes, they did have tours throughout the house, and it got kind of, well, I don't know that she would do it now, but she definitely did it in the past, and it's inside and outside. I mean, on Zillow or Redfin, you can see where you eat, sleep, where you can see the bathrooms and everything. I mean, it's to just stomp your feet and say, you know, it's not, I don't want you to see my house. I mean, we've got a rich history here, and this is one of our gems, and to not put it on a, to not, it's silly to not put it on a, what'd you say?
I said to not memorialize it.
Thank you, yes.
Do we have any other comments? No? Okay, we do have a public comment. James Spann.
Thank you, Public Art Commissioners, city staff. My name is James Spann. I spoke at the last meeting, but I just want to reinforce some thoughts. As a past chair of the HPC, among other commissions, I can tell you that the image in question depicts at time a true work of art architecture that can be found in any city in the United States, very similar. A time when beauty, function, and quality, you might say built to last, was the goal of builders of these irreplaceable gems, as well as the owners. As an owner of a historical home, we take pride in every aspect of it. We are stewards of these homes for a very short period of time. They belong to the city, they belong to the future. They don't belong to one person. When I see the image in question, it takes me back to where I was raised in Chicago, right outside of Oak Park River Forest. We used to drive around because there was a similar structure on every block. So similar that if you put one picture next to the other, you couldn't tell the difference. So to say that this is stereotyped, this house, is wrong. It's a class, it depicts a class of houses that exists everywhere. Now, it brings back great memories when I look at that picture because it rekindles the thoughts of looking at these houses in the past. And I think everybody that has a past that grew up somewhere else has seen a house similar to that. To remove this is a complete injustice, regardless of the staff recommendation. And I'm going by what was published in the agenda. I will quote the Architectural Work Protection Act, U.S. Government Code. There is a code codified. However, pre-1990 construction, the code only applies to buildings constructed after December 1st because if your home is historic and on the National Register of Historic Places, its architectural design predates this law entirely and has long been in the public domain. It is completely free from architectural copy restrictions. You can't say, oh, you can't paint my house, you can't reproduce the image of my house. To say that the city wants to be a good neighbor leaves me wondering, to who? One person, maybe two, or the vast majority of people in Escondido that love it. I've heard from a prominent person in the city that over 99 out of 100 people love it. And I believe one person should be the good neighbor, not the rest of us.
Mr.
To remove
Spann,
this
the
piece,
time's your
is that
3
it?
minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Is the house identified anywhere in the painting as the beach house or the current owner's name?
No. Only the artist name appears.
May I ask a question? There are a lot of boxes, there's 40. Have any of you not seen this particular house we're talking about? Okay. Do you have a wraparound picture?
I do not in this specific presentation.
Sandra, what's the title of this box?
Built to last.
Built to last, right? Okay.
So I make a motion that we do not decommission this box.
I second it.
Okay. Commissioner Kelleher?
Yay to not, yay.
Commissioner Rogers?
Yes,
Ryan?
not to decommission it.
Commissioner Span?
Yes to history.
Commissioner Sackfield? Commissioner Rogers? Commissioner Ovanessa? Martinez, yes.
And the motion's approved 7-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. And our next item is Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month.
Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Sandra Aguilar, Management Analyst for the Economic Development Department.
And I'm Nicolina Katanek, Department Specialist for the Economic Development Department.
And we will be presenting on the 2027 Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month grant opportunity. Here's today's presentation agenda.
The history of Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. In 2019, the state of California declared April as Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month. The purpose was to recognize the value of arts and culture by raising awareness to their impact on communities. In April of 2025, the city of Escondido celebrated for the first time.
As a reminder, the Public Art Commission gave out 9 grants in April 2026. So for our 2026 Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month impact, we had 3,079 people attend or access free events. 202 artists, creative workers, and culture bearers were employed. 8 business partners received benefits from the activities. Nonprofits received 3,810 in donations, and 21,320 was made by grant recipients in additional sales. Many stories have emerged that illustrate the qualitative impact of the and investment in the creative economy of the grant program. For example, families shared how they looked forward to attending the weekly activities at Kit Carson Park hosted by UNC. One father and his 2 children made the program part of their regular routine, riding their bikes to the park each week to participate. By combining grant funding with revenue generated from sales, Escondido's repurposed art supplies store was able to support ongoing operating costs, including rent, artist compensation, and employee wages. The initiative also created valuable workforce development opportunities. Prior to the store's opening, Public Art City staff hosted 2 interns from the Delago Academy. One intern, Kim, who is pictured here, has a strong interest in art and drawing, was introduced to grant recipient Brilliant Spectrum Art during her internship. Following the program, she continued her involvement by joining Escondido's as an employee and receiving her first paycheck. Belonging Among the Stars also demonstrated an adaptability and community partnerships fostered through the grant program. When a last-minute venue conflict required the production to relocate, the performance was successfully moved to the Patio Playhouse stage. Relocating from the Grand Ritz to Patio Playhouse provided rental income during a period when the theater would otherwise been dark. That revenue helped support a much-needed improvement to their facilities, allowing Patio Playhouse to purchase and install 80 brand-new theater-style seats for their audience.
For our 2027 grant opportunity, our objective is to support art projects and raising public awareness for April for Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month in April 2027. Our funding for each project will be between $1,000 and $10,000. The programs and initiatives offer free opportunities to the community in 5 different categories: performing arts, visual arts and exhibitions, art education and creative experiences, cultural heritage and tradition, and Escondido Artist Showcase.
For the 2027 grant opportunity, city staff recommends total funding be available in the amount of $85,000. The application period would be August 17 through October 23rd, approximately 2 months for grant proposals to be submitted. The commissioners would score the submittals on October 26th through November 4th, and they would be published in the meeting agenda. And then the final funding decision would be at the Public Art Commission meeting on November 9th.
The changes to the program in 2027 will be that the projects that offer 5 or more days of free public programming would be eligible for $10,000 in funding. Those projects with 4 or less days would be eligible for funding up to $7,000.
A second change that is recommended is that potential projects should fall in one of 5 categories. The categories would be performing arts, which would be live artistic performances, visual arts and exhibitions, which would be creation or exhibition of visual artwork, arts education and creative experiences, which would fund hands-on participation by the public, cultural heritage and traditions, celebrating diverse cultures through the arts, and the Escondido Arts Showcase, supporting local artists living or working in Escondido.
Our 2027 marketing plans, our budget, we recommend to set to $15,000 on opening day event, street banners, floor decals, stickers, and merch. Similar to last year, city staff would work with community partners on executing various parts of this plan.
And so city staff recommends that the Public Art Commission approve the 2027 Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month Grant Opportunity Program and fund up to $85,000 in grants, and that the Public Art Commission allocate the remaining balance of the 2027 Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month funds towards marketing and advertising for the month-long event up to $15,000. And we're here if you have any questions.
$15,000 feels like a lot of money for me because last year was the first year that we really took any funding to do any marketing or anything like that. So I love it. But I'm also not really enthused about taking $15,000 away from potential grants. And when I look at the timelines, I thought, well, maybe we could do a budget real quick for what it is we want to do and see whether we could slip that money back over. I don't know what you commissioners feel like, or maybe we take that down to $10,000 because marketing is really important. We want people to come. We want to tell everybody what's going on here. But I really think that the money is better spent in activations and things like that.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I agree. I think, sorry.
No, I'm done.
I think 10,000 would be sufficient, and I think, if you plan it out, and also the businesses that receive grants, the nonprofits that receive naturally do their own marketing and outreach, in either newsletters, social media, et cetera. So certainly marketing is important, but I think to bring 15 to 10 seems reasonable.
How was that number arrived at, just out of curiosity.
It was something that was sort of discussed when the work plan was created.
Yeah.
And it did say up to 15, so that would just allow, in case there was any overage, that doesn't mean we were going to make sure to hit 15.
Right. I will say that it is a statewide thing. I noticed that last year Vista did a lot of promoting of their arts, creativity, and culture. With my work with the center, marketing is expensive, and I think that that's part of what we suffer from here in Escondido. So I would just, I mean, it does seem like a lot of money to me, so I would like, I know though that like advertising in the San Diego Union Tribune costs a lot of money. So that's why I was curious as to if there was a notion of the reason we need this amount of money is because of X, Y, or Z.
Well, sort of. So to give you a little more insight, last year we spent about 5,000, and we were tight.
Yeah,
So the goal was to increase that, so we were not tied to 10,000, double our efforts. And then the other 5,000, again, doesn't mean we're going to use all of it. We are hoping to do a grand opening event for April. We have not been able to do that the prior 2 years, and depending on permitting, and I was hoping to pay artists to showcase chalk art or other live attractions.
that's
We want to
right.
pay them.
Yeah.
That's why it's set the amount that it is. We wouldn't want to have them not.
The other thing too, the floor decals, the sidewalk decals, that wasn't in that 5,000. That came from another budget.
Last time, that came from another budget. We pulled from any budget
that's
we
why.
had any pennies
Okay.
in.
It seems
Okay.
like a lot, but to me, it's
But
not
now that we're talking it through, and we still have the banners from last year. But
Correct.
does this budget have to hang them?
Correct, and to take them down and wash them. We also didn't have very many banners. And I remember that the subcommittee wanted to increase the number of banners, so this would allow for us to print more banners as well.
I also know that we talked about in the subcommittee, and I don't know if this is the right time or if we're going to have a time to have input on the actual documentation that's going to be going out to folks. But another part of that marketing is that when you spoke about you'd like to pay them to do certain things, we talked about having the people who would be recipients be required to come to the opening event, so that at
Correct.
the opening event, you would be able to see all those things and know what the menu is, so that you're excited to come and continue to do that. And
Yes.
so it does seem like a lot of money, but to me, it doesn't seem like a lot of
I'm
money.
not sure that it makes sense to throw the chalk painting activation into a marketing bucket, though. I think we need to think about that, because that's expensive.
It would be.
I shouldn't say it's expensive. You have to pay those artists. And to have any impact at all, and I know I'm backtracking on what I said about the money, but I can easily be swayed. Chalk painting, a lot of money.
I understand.
Maybe
And
we needs to come out of the grant somehow. I don't know.
Some cities, like Santa Barbara, does chalk painting, and they're absolutely beautiful. They do it in front of the mission, and it's a very safe place to do it. But I believe they have a contest, and the top one wins a certain amount of money, where they're not spending money on each artist coming forward. And I think that might be an approach for us to take. That would save
Absolutely.
money, would cause competition, but at the same time would be beauty. I remember saying that right here in front, the driveway would be a wonderful place to have chalk art. And I'd be happy to help with that in any way I can.
And better plans and more of a line item budget would be available once an amount is decided, so that then we can know how much to place to each bucket.
So what we're looking for now in terms of a motion, I just need to know, is it include all these materials? Is that what we're looking for now, or are you looking for a motion just for the amount of money spent on marketing?
I'm looking for the amount for grants, basically the split. How much would you like for grants? Therefore, the remaining would be for our marketing budget, as well as you have a draft of the 2 changes that were made to the program. So you would approve that in order for that to be released next week.
Well, I would like to make a motion to accept the recommendation for the amounts stated. However, in this documentation, it does not talk about the requirement for the artist to come to the opening ceremony, and I would like that to be a part of this.
That can absolutely be updated.
Can I make a comment about the timing of the ceremony? Because I remember it being in the middle of the week last year, and it just isn't, I know it makes sense because it starts in the middle of the week, but to have a kickoff that can include families, include people from the whole community, I think it would help.
I'm
if it's-
gonna pause you for a
Yes.
second. Do we have a second on the motion?
Yeah, sorry, I
Well-
will second that motion.
Well-
Yes.
I'm wondering if we could amend that motion. I agree with the numbers. I don't agree with calling that $15,000 bucket marketing. It's more,
Outreach?
what?
Outreach?
Outreach, perhaps, that might be a good one.
Community
it-
engagement?
Community engagement,
And marketing.
To include marketing.
to include marketing. It's
Because
the.
it is some marketing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
And just a comment about Terry's idea about making that a contest too. That also makes it super inclusive because maybe you're not so good artist. Well, everyone's got creativity and an artistic touch. But
What?
let's say someone who's just starting out for the first time, and I mean like, a 7-year-old Billy Bob wants to join the chalk contest.
And we will dive into the details of that later on, but I'll definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah, I just want to be very, clear
Well,
on
what do we call
making it an event on the weekend. If it's an opening event that we're putting this much money into, I feel like,
Yes. When we talked about it, Commissioner Kelleher, we talked about the first weekend in April. And I apologize for being persnickety about this title, and I'm having a terrible time. Administrative, I don't know, rollout, administration and marketing, maybe something like that. I realize that we're all sitting here and talking about this, but I don't want the money to get pigeonholed in some way. It needs to be a flexible fund that will allow us to do the reception and hire music and, bring catering in and potentially do that contest. And marketing is such a narrow term. So,
How about amending it to say outreach?
Or we could say marketing, advertising, overview, costs. Does that cover everything?
Well, outreach
Outreach
would also be marketing,
Right.
because you're going to be doing advertising, you're going to be reaching out, and then outreach can also be
Outreach and
outreach and
right.
engagement.
Okay.
Okay, so my
I believe-
motion, we got a second. She seconded it.
I second the
So
adjustments.
I'm going to repeat my motion.
Yes.
My motion is to accept the recommendation of the staff for the allocations of $85,000 for grants and $15,000, and instead call it outreach and engagement.
And I second that.
Okay, and we are voting. Commissioner Kelleher,
Yay.
Commissioner Ryan,
Yes.
Commissioner Span,
Sounds great, yes.
Commissioner Sackfield,
Yes.
Commissioner Rogers,
yes.
Commissioner Vanessa, Commissioner Martinez, yes.
Approved 7-0.
Is there any other feedback on the form?
I think it's very clear. I think it's simple enough to where it doesn't frighten people away. This is still something new, and so it's important to me that it seems accessible, so people will be willing to do it. And other than just that addition of that requirement, I think it's great.
And I like the edits. I feel like they are clearer for applicants coming in as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much for the feedback.
Thank you for your work.
Okay, staff liaison report.
I don't know if you want to do the. Oh, okay. All right. Well, sometimes you flash the white. I just was waiting. Okay. Good evening, Commissioners. I'm Sandra Aguilar, Management Analyst for Economic Development.
And I'm Nicolina Katanik, Department Specialist for the Economic Development Department.
And we will be presenting the Staff Liaison Report and Queen Califia's Magical Circle Report. Here's today's presentation agenda. First, our art solicitation projects. The first is the Grand Avenue Roundabout Art Project. Preparations for the final request for proposals for the Grand Avenue Roundabout Art Project required more extensive development and internal review than originally anticipated. Staff expect to present the completed RFP for final review and approval at the September 21st, 2026 Public Art Commission meeting. The Escondido Creek Trail Call for Artists was released by staff on July 16. City staff have received questions prior to the questions deadline of August 7th, and answers are expected to be posted this Friday, August 14th, by the end of the day. Proposals are due September 8th. Now on to Art Speaks, Escondido Community Foundation. The Kumeyaay creation story was completed at the Escondido Library by artist Tim Toplove. A dedication ceremony was held on August 1st, 2026, hosted by the Escondido Community Foundation. The San Pascual Band of Kumeyaay Indians facilitated a land dedication and bird singers. A special bookmark and 60 copies of the Kumeyaay comic book were gifted to the public to commemorate the mural dedication and library reopening. The One Planet, One People Patineta mural is progressing, and on August 3rd, 2026, city staff met virtually with the artist Kristen Petard and his team to begin preliminary talks regarding the mural dedication event that will take place sometime in October. We will share more specific details once we have them available. Staff also confirmed the design background is not light pink and matches the original proposed design. And now on to our city news updates. The Escondido Creek Trail community event will be hosted by the city to celebrate the end of the current phase of construction on August 15, 2026. Public arts staff will be hosting a craft booth and will be providing information about our public art programs and calls for artists. All commissioners are encouraged to join. And our Friendship Cities delegation trip. Deputy Mayor Garcia, Councilmember Martinez, Director of Economic Development Jennifer Shonek, and myself joined Ballet Folklorico Calixtlan on their trip to perform and represent the city of Escondido during the Guelaguetza 2026. The invitation came from our friendship city of San Jacinto, Amilpas, Oaxaca. Council members and city staff joined the group from July 17 to July 21st for an equivalent of 4 days. This is a picture of the group from Escondido performing on the stage. They had a total of 108 families and dancers, not to include anybody else, us specifically. And then obviously staff was able to learn about the traditions, public art, and culture of our friendship cities. Staff also met with the potential economic partners and other Oaxacan sister cities, Cimatlan. A full debrief and recommendations will be given to City Council in coming months. The bookmark you have in front of you is from Oaxaca and painted by a local artist.
Now shifting gears over to Queen Califia's Magical Circle. Here I have our visitor data from July. We were open 11 days in July, and per our volunteer logs, we logged 1,509 visitors, and we recorded through our geolocation data 710 visitors. We did not have any private tours for July and gathered a total of $0 in private tour fees. We still have an active docent number of 35, and our docent hours for the month of July was 65.5 hours. On August 1st, public art staff, along with one docent, represented our garden at Miracosta College's Back to School Rally event. Over 40 participants stopped by to learn about our sculpture garden and create pipe cleaner animals inspired by the animals around our garden. Our next upcoming docent gathering will be happening at UCSD on Friday, August 28th from 10 to 12 p.m. 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. The senior project manager of the Stewart Art Collection at UCSD has invited Escondido's volunteer docents to tour their campus art collection. The tour will provide docents with an opportunity to learn about significant works within the Stewart Art Collection, including Sun God by acclaimed artist Nikki DeSantFall, a landmark public artwork that several docents have not previously visited in person. City staff will be driving docents on our city vehicle. We have 2 upcoming events at our garden this week. The first event is Twilight Poetry, will be happening on Friday, August 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. The event will feature spoken word performances and poetry readings by 4 poets, and it is organized by one of our volunteer docents, Katie Kemple. Our second event is our Summer Tunes with Ruth and Amelia on Sunday, August 16th from 4 to 5 p.m. They are a mother-daughter Parents' Choice Award-winning music duo who will perform their children's music through singing, dancing, and interactive fun. Both events are free, listed on Visit Escondido.
I heard you say 16th and 14th. Is the date on the flyer correct?
Yes, the date's on the flyer.
So
And there is
August 14th is the correct date.
August 14th is for the poetry. August 16th is
August
for Ruth
16th.
and
Okay,
Amelia.
thank you.
Yeah, and those dates are both listed on Visit Escondido and flyers. And as another reminder, our October is the anniversary of both the opening of the sculpture garden and Nikki DeSantFall's birthday, and we'll be celebrating all month long. The trees surrounding the sculpture garden will be decked out by fiber artists of all levels as part of the temporary installation called Fiber Expressions. Installation starts in late September and will be on display throughout October. If interested in joining us, you can fill out our online interest form on our website or email us at publicart@escondido.gov. On Saturdays, October 10th, 17th, and the 24th of the month, staff will host 3 family creativity days with free opportunities for family creativity. Our partners include Photographer's Eye, Ecovivarium, Collab Crafts, Escondido Library, UNCI, Barkatorium, musician Sophie Ray, and the Children's Museum of Discovery. And our next meeting agenda, we plan to have our meeting on September 21st at 5 p.m. The following items are anticipated to be on the agenda: the Grand Avenue Roundabout Art Project, the 2027 Arts, Culture, and Creativity Month, and the Escondido Creek Trail Art Project.
We're here if you have any questions.
I do have a question.
Yes.
I think it's really, really important. We've already changed how we're doing meetings and that we're having them every month. I think it's really important that the meeting happen at the same time all the time. It's something that if there are people, it's hard enough for people to know. So is there a reason that it was 5 o'clock and not 4:30?
We voted at the previous meeting to move all of the future meetings to 5 p.m.
That is right.
Was it 5, not 5:30? 5. That was a staff error that it said 5:30 on the, oh, I know, never mind. Apologies.
Right. I do have a question. What should we anticipate happening with Grand Avenue Roundabout on the next meeting?
You will have the final draft of the RFP, and you would vote to release it to the top 3 artists.
Will the artists be attending?
No.
Okay. Great. Looking forward to it.
Any other questions?
No? Okay.
I actually have never been prouder of any committee I've ever served on as I was to each one of you commissioners today. You did the right decision. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry. Does anyone have anything to add to a future agenda? No? Okay. Any commissioners' reports? Mhm. Okay.
So I would just like to say that this one. Commissioner Rogers and I attended the National Night Out and did a really cool art project for, it was a big canvas with many different shapes, and people came up and they created whatever they wanted. We had all kinds of interesting things. Two things that really stuck out to me was the fact that it was multi-generational. Kids from literally 2 who were literally just scribbling on it to 82. A woman who engaged with us for quite a long time from the Philippines who drew a beautiful little home, traditional Philippine home. And as people gathered at the canvas, they were engaging with one another. So to me, that speaks exactly about what art does for all of us. The Center for the Arts yesterday or the day before had their Chicano block party, which was the second one. Hundreds of people came. And in the museum, Jose Hugo Sanchez Moxtlis has a printmaking, his prints are there, but there was a printmaking workshop where they created panels of all these prints, which are now in the museum, which was really amazing. There is also, many of us attended the library opening, and thank you for sharing about that. That mural is amazing, and that artist it was fascinating to see everything that we had there. And this Friday night at our very own Center for the Arts is the Hidden City Sounds. It's a free event, and it's going to be blues music, so let everyone know.
Something else that's related to the Center for the Arts, the North County Arts Awards were 2 weeks ago, and 2 projects that were funded by the Public Art Commission won awards. One of them was Hot Glass Cold Beer, that was an Art, Culture, and Creativity Month event, won for the best. Art, Culture, and Creativity Month is a category in those awards. So it won for the best. And then the mural project, the Creek Trail project, won for, it was just best visual arts project. So we funded 2 of the projects that won in those awards. It was really wonderful to see that happen.
And don't be humble, because Commissioner Rogers here was awarded for the Changemaker. So.
Yes.
All right.
Does everybody have this magazine? This was a while ago, but it's really a great magazine. I have more at home. I bought one for Commissioner McCain because I knew she didn't have one. But does anybody else want one?
Yeah. I'll just bring one for everyone. Okay. Anything else? Okay. With that, we are adjourned at 5:32.